Okay, Lucy.
But you did promise me a chair.
I did promise.
Okay, I'm going to stand. I'm going to try and stand.
You can stand. Okay, cool.
You don't need the chair.
I don't need a chair.
It's a prop, isn't it?
Well, first of all, thank you. Thank you for organising this event and for giving us the opportunity to raise one another. Integrative therapy counsellor, author, and technically speaker. Very nervous. I have been asked to share my story with you, my message. Well, I live a really, really good life, a happy life. I have a great family. I do a job that I absolutely adore. But my life up to this point has been far from idyllic. My life has been a journey of struggle, battling a variety of situations. Situations which I felt at the time were insurmountable. Situations like rejection, depression, abandonment, eating disorders, domestic violence, self-harming, self-hate, and a severe attack that almost ended my life. My journey begins in Italy, my country of birth, with an atheist communist father on one side and a boarding school of strict Catholic nuns on the other. Two different worlds, both using my head as the game ball to score points against one another. The majority of the adults in my life then were not the nicest, the kindest, or emotionally apt. And I was raised in a manner that led me to believe that I was unworthy, unwanted, unloved, and all round not good enough. As my mother so eloquently put it, she would have rather have had a bunch of thorns than to have had me. And as a very sensitive soul already from a young age, I began to internalize all of these beliefs. And by the age of 6, I was already suffering from my very first bout of depression and eating disorders. And this went on to repeat itself with stronger and longer lasting episodes in my teens, with the addition of self-harming and a massive dose of self-hate. And began in my adult years with the rest of the previously listed issues. In my need to feel the inner emptiness that had formed within me, in my search to be loved, I soon became the perfect target for people who were used to increasing their power by stepping on others. And as I never wanted anybody else to feel the pain and the loneliness that I felt, I let them. In fact, I would merely entertain relationships with people who I felt were cast away, thus becoming the rescuer, while at the same time reinforcing within me the message that I was not good enough, as every time that I was unable to fix them, as we can't fix people, they would turn on me. So at barely 19, lost, broken, messed up, and with a handful of English words in my kit, I engineered my move to London to escape from it all and start in my mind's eye my dream life. But things did not quite go as planned. In fact, it got worse. 6 years in a destructive relationship, an emotionally crippling abortion, more episodes of depression, successful and unsuccessful counselling, and then eventually ending up on the national news and newspaper, having fallen victim to a vicious attack, raped several times at knife point at the end of an ex-con, controversially released from Bromo. A schizophrenic, a very ill man who had chosen to raise his status of rapist to murderer. This was like being trapped in a horror movie without the conscious choice of wanting to play this part. Still, by some sort of a miracle, after a 3-hour ordeal, I managed to escape with a bruised face, a mashed up eye, a bruised ego, but alive. This latest event in my life, however, really did bring me to my knees, and it wasn't easy to come back from. I spent a lot of time reeling in self-shame, self-blame, disgust, anger, victim mode, basically just turning on myself. I struggled to ask for support as I tried to keep people from knowing that the girl in the newspaper was me. As the shame, the very well ingrained emotion that my father regarded me so much against in my childhood was far too much for me to bear. At the time, I even forbidden my closest friend to come into the Old Bailey to the court case because I felt the details of the ordeal would be far too much for her to handle, and I was afraid she would reject me, like I was rejecting myself. Anyway, close to death at his hands, and then eventually my own, as I did come close to committing suicide, I still pushed myself forward, determined not to let my attacker or any destructive relationship ruin my life. But what I did not count on was that I was not done with the self-destruction. And again, coming from a place of lack of self-love, a place where I only look to fix from the outside, yet again ignoring myself, my gut feeling, and the danger that this man emanated, I married my first husband, and I lived through years of his drug and alcohol-induced violent behavior. Although to this there was a massive plus, a massive positive, I had my two wonderful children. And it was when my husband's behavior began to leak out and be witnessed by our children that I managed to turn it all around. I took a stand. I left my then husband. My focus in life changed. I looked to find me, the love for me, my worth, my value, to give my children the best role model and life possible. And using specific techniques, some which I learned in counseling years prior, but never consistently applied. Others through sheer hard work, determination, trial and error, self-help material. My thought, my actions, my daily routine evolved, and I moved my existence into a stronger place, a much lighter place. I started to find me, defiant of my childhood's teaching and the message that I was not good enough. As I taught my children of their self-worth, of their value, I started to own those messages too. And as I grew with a heart full of empathy and a solid wish to relieve other people's pain, other people's heart, from the pain I could relate only too well, I did a counseling course and I became a counselor. I started then living my purpose. I began to help others. I began to help others who were stuck in dark places like I had been, helping them come back to a happier place, to live the happy life that they deserved. And as I was helping them, I was reinforcing within me my own positive mindset. When going through hard time, faced with pain and difficult decisions, we tend to feel very alone. And we believe that no one can understand us or what we are going through. And although technically this is true, as we experience life in our own unique way, through our own unique perspectives, it is important to remember that other people can empathize, other people can relate, other people can be there for us, with us, if we give them a chance. But more importantly, if we give ourselves a chance, if we trust and let people in. 3 years ago, I released my first book, A Reason to Love Me, bearing it all in details, the whole journey, hoping to lead by example. Although some would say that I have experienced a fair amount of trauma, I would not change my journey in any way, as it is through this journey that I have come to find myself, my own appreciation, my self-love. All of my experiences have been for a reason. Nothing is for nothing. Everything is for a reason. And now I'm here sharing the message that nothing is insurmountable. Through our journey, we learn, we grow, we find life. As a result of trauma, we often find ourselves in shock and victim mode, making unhealthy choices and getting stuck in repetition of hurtful thoughts. Adding to the memories of the experiences, these choices and this addictive mindset help to prolong and intensify our pain. With all this emotional turmoil, we find ourselves placing the blame solely on the events itself, keeping us under the illusion that our lives are ruined forever. This cannot be furthest from the truth. Our life can resume at the very moment we choose to take our power back, reminding ourselves that that was then and it's finished. Even yesterday is over and done with. We live in the now, and it is in this now that we have the power to make our life happen our way. By tweaking our perspectives, but stop pressing the replay button of a time that no longer is. By stepping out of the storm and becoming the observers, collecting the gems hidden in the lesson rather than focusing on the how I was done wrong, we rise, remembering that no one can destroy us without our permission. I am a survivor, and I want to serve as an inspiration, as I am proof that no matter how adverse the influences, we choose who we become. And I, for one, have chosen to become a voice for hope, love, and strength, to be a message of positive possibility. Sharing the message that nothing is insurmountable. There is always a way forward, another path, a new strategy. We just need to find the one that best works for us, because life is for living our way. So let's take our power back. If it's okay, I'm just going to share just a little extract from my latest book, literally just released 3 weeks ago. Do not allow the aggressors in your life to control you. Always remember, you have a choice. You can join them in persecuting you by pressing the replay button and staying stuck in those events. Or you can stand up for yourselves, build a better life in spite and despite those events, breaking the chains and becoming the beacon of hope for others that need to find a way out of the dark. Don't meet them where they are. Meet them where you are, in your peace. And I lost the place now. In your peace, love and goodness. Your peace is too precious. Don't throw it away just because someone is yet to learn what you already know. Stop resisting and fighting against the current. Be the creator of your life. Let go of the how things should be. Learn to accept what was and dance with the how it is. You can focus on the should-haves, or you can find the joy in your living. Time will pass anyway. How you spend it and see it will determine the life of struggle or joy. You are the one in charge of the interpretation and energy you give to any situation. You are part of the puzzle in other people's lives, and in turn, they are part of yours, all indispensable to complete each and every story. Thank you for listening to me.
Is that it? Hello? Do you think that was easy?
No way. Thank you for giving back.
Thank you for listening. It's just standing in front of people that I'm still working on.
But that is the realness. Right, so you're there and you're like, she's written a book, she's counselling, she's this, she's that, she's the other, and so why can't she stand here and share that with you all without
Shaking.
You delivered it very well, very powerful.
So that's why, if you don't know me, you kind of get why I do what I do. I'm always learning. I said, we met on social media, and unfortunately for her, that's it. And I'm sure some of the others will say that's it. Daniela is in the back bit where the food is. She's selling her books. Is there anything else you need to tell them, do you think?
I'm actually doing a book launch on the 25th of April, when the book has just been released, and this is going to be my host.
So, 25th of April, it's going to be in Bedford. Okay, it's going to be in Bedford. Tell the guys, because all these things are important, because people are thinking like, right, okay, so she's written another book, whoop whoop for you. What are you doing? Where are the profits going?
Oh, all the entrance for the book launch is going to go to Faces, the charity, the local charity near me. They support family. They support families with difficulties. So all the ticket prices is going to Faces, the charity Faces, supporting families with difficulties.
You understand? It's about giving back. Yeah, it's about giving back. So thank you, honestly. I know that wasn't easy. Now, every now and again, you just got to I don't know, you just kind of mix it up. You're not sitting there and I'm looking at you, I'm thinking, oh, please. Right, now.